and welcome to this week's episode of Soap Scoop, the Inside Soap podcast. Now, coming up, we've got all the usual spoilers and chat for you across all of the soaps. However, an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at our EastEnders Valentine's themed photo shoot with stars James Farrar, Alice Haig and Alex Walkinshaw, who play Zack, Vicki and Ross. They are going to show you what it was like to be on our gorgeous shoot.
Hello, Digital Spy and Inside Soap. This is Alice Haig.
I'm Alex Walkinshaw.
And I'm James Farrar.
And welcome to the Valentine shoot. The shoot today has been really good fun. I've been with my friends, Farrar and Alex, and we've been being very silly and very lusty. And it's great. It's been brilliant fun.
My take on our love triangle story is that Ross isn't aware that he's in a love triangle. He's oblivious to a love triangle. He's quite happy. He's unaware he's in a triangle.
Like a bucket list thing, isn't it? To be on Albert Square, having affairs, getting proposed to. It's just been like a total dream come true.
For Zack, he's never felt unconditional love, and probably the only person that's really backed him in the last few years has been Vicki, especially with the Mitchell saga when Zack went into the lake. As for Vicki, I just feel like there's a lot of baggage the other side. And yes, we are semi-related, but I think we'd be happy together.
Why should Vicki choose Ross over Zack? Well, he's got the height, he's got the hair, but I don't think he's got the heart. Ross has got the heart.
Ross and Vicki have got such a deep love for each other. They are right for each other. Everything should work, but Joel is just a thorn in the side of their relationship, and it's very difficult to see how either of them can see past it. Zack has got a bit of a shady history when it comes to women, but him and Vicki have got a very real connection because they care about each other, and all the sort of lusty stuff is there as well. So I think it's a very tricky choice.
Oh, Johnny, love is in the air. Valentine's is coming up. Zack, Vicki and Ross. Who are you rooting for in this?
Well, love is in the air. Everywhere I look around, I think you'll find. In fact, you could even say love is in the square. It is for Vicki, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I've been thinking about who Vicki should choose. Is it Zack or is it Voss? I don't know. I feel the Zack vibe. I felt that from the minute, like, they met. I thought that's what they're going to do. They're really going to go down. And it's more exciting, isn't it, I think? Vicki needs some excitement. And Alice Haig, give her all the drama, because she's been absolutely brilliant in the last couple of weeks, especially with the trial. Why would you not go into this affair? Is there a reason why not? Because A, it's drama. B, I think they look great together. C, Zack also could do with a bit of a plot. I actually struggle to think why this affair should not happen.
Well, I can give you one reason. They are both Sharon's siblings. Now, I'm going to hold my hands up because I know what you're going to throw at me. Obviously, I was a big advocate for Shanice back in the day. Sharon and Dennis were not blood related, and I shipped them big time. Wait for Nigel Harman to come out the stage door of Guys and Dolls. Anyway, I don't know. Is history repeating itself in a way this time that is maybe a step too far? Not because it's necessarily illegal, because it's not. They're not related. But Sharon, at some point, may return home to find these two together. And how do you think she's going to react?
Well, maybe Sharon will get a little bit of a taste of her own medicine when she copped off with her pretend brother that we all know was wrong, and that if they'd never got together, he would never have died. LJ, we're 20 years down the line and we're still not agreeing about it. Take that, Sharon. Your sister and your brother are getting it on. They're not really your sister and your brother. You want Sharon to come home to drama. You don't just want Sharon to come home to find the neighbours taking in her packages, or there's loads of curdled milk on their doorstep. We want her to come home to a huge, kind of inappropriate affair that could break up her entire family, surely.
If you're thinking along the lines of Sharon and Dennis were doomed because they got together in the first place, maybe that is an advert for Zack and Vicki just to steer well clear, because I don't want to see Zack taken down in the middle of the square while Vicki wails over his dead body.
It didn't end well before, and most affairs don't end well, let's be honest. But yeah, maybe this is a whole arc, isn't it? EastEnders do love to have a bit of history repeating itself on purpose, like the circle of life and all of that. Gosh, do you think that Zack, they've already decided? That's why the flash forward was New Year's Day, because New Year's Eve, just like Dennis Rickman, maybe he's been bumped off. because of this affair that really shouldn't happen. I mean, I am being a bit cruel because Ross is a nice guy, can I just say? I have not mentioned the word Ross in saying, yeah, have an affair. What a great idea. Sorry, Ross, but he is a nice guy, but he's a bit dull, and he didn't step up for Vicki when he needed to. And I think that maybe they're just not suited.
I think Ross has seen the error of his ways where Joel is concerned, and I think he is really going to step up for Vicki now. I'm a bit biased because we've worked with Alex Walkinshaw for a very long time, and he's a friend, so I want the best.
We love Alex, but Ross does need to, it's all words at the minute, isn't it?
What do you mean it's all words? He got down on one knee, scattered 1,000 rose petals. I mean, that's a big enough job for anyone. Ask me, because on that Valentine's shoot, us and the art team and the picture team, we were there at 7 o'clock in the morning putting those petals down.
You've got insight that I do not have.
Yeah.
Clearly, yeah, not romantic enough. Okay, fair enough. Yes, the proposal and all of that. It's just a bit. I mean, and what about the thumbs up? What's his little leaflets, his flyers about his odd jobs?
Yeah, he's building work.
Yeah, that's a bit
Anyone
cringe.
in for the handyman?
What they do? I actually do need a handyman. I'm looking around here. I think I could do with Ross. There's me being horrible about him. Yeah, I feel like, what if Ross had the affair? And what if Vicki does resist Zack? I mean, you might have more insight because on the shoot, obviously, you were chatting away. You got a bit of vibe. Did they give you much of a hint about where it's going to go? I feel like maybe Ross will, be the one to cheat, and that'll be the twist, or have a revenge fling.
Who do you think, though?
Elaine.
I think Elaine is betrothed to Ian Bill right now. I think they're squabbling, but nah, these two are going to get together, surely.
I don't. I want my money back. But yeah, completely. But yeah, there's got to be, I don't know, Kathy. I feel like, I don't know, kind of graduate older woman vibes for Ross. Why do I think that? I don't know.
Well, I struggled to get too much gossip from the three of them on the shoot because what had just been on screen when we then saw them the next day was that really steamy Zack and Vicki passion in the kitchen, and they abandoned their dessert. In the words of our fellow writer Chloe Timms, if you were hungry, Zack, you should have finished off your raspberry tart, but he didn't. Chloe, I'm sorry that I nicked that from you, but it was classic. I loved it.
Copyright Chloe, thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, he certainly was in the mood for something, wasn't he?
And I couldn't look both of them in the eye, actually. I was a bit like, like when you're watching a film with your parents and it's the Titanic scene after he's painted her like one of his French girls, and then you just don't know where to look, and you just
don't know where to look. Yeah, you don't. That must have been a bit tricky. How did they feel about that? Like, did they talk about it? Must be cringy to film, but you're actors, you get on with it. But it was really steamy, wasn't it? We're still talking about it like 3 weeks later.
I know. I think they said that, I mean, obviously they're actors, they're professional, they completely get on with it. But they said that it was dark in the room. Maybe you felt like you had a bit more privacy then if all the lights were on. But okay, we've gone down a road now that I'm not sure.
Back up. Let's reverse out of Sauce Alley. We don't want to be down there. Yeah. Let's talk about other things, shall we?
We can do. I mean, what I will say is it's a beautiful photo shoot with the three of them. We've got a cracking interview in the print magazine. And of course, you've had a taster of it on the podcast today. So please do pick up that interview and read it because it's brilliant. It really goes into a lot of depth about the feelings of all three characters and where they see themselves. And if, a Walford wedding does come to pass for Vicki and Ross, then of course that is going to be very exciting. But we can lead off from a wedding and talk about a funeral because this week, dear Anthony is laid to rest and Jasmine is back on the scene. She is arrested. We are having a very fierce debate in the office about this storyline, and we were saying earlier, who are we meant to care for in this? Are we meant to care for Jasmine?
Well, is she a really bad villain, really manipulative? Like she did all this stuff to Zoe, like it was a campaign of terror and intimidation. Then we found out Chrissie put her up to it and Jasmine wasn't to blame. She's been brainwashed by Chrissie. And then the killing Anthony, was it yeah, she was, I guess, defending Zoe, defending her mother. She saw him beat her up and she thought, I'm going to save her. But the lengths she's gone to like cover up the crime, obviously she's going to go to prison. I just don't know if Jasmine is like, you know, the next master villainess of soap, or wrong place, wrong time. I can't quite get it. I don't trust her. And I know we weren't meant to in the beginning, and then it turned out, you know, she had an agenda. But whenever she gets like a bit upset or a bit tries to give like, please, it's not my fault, I don't trust her. I really don't. And also I think she's using Oscar. I think, you know, Max and Cindy are right to be a bit like, get away from her. And we all have Oscar, don't we? So I feel like, yeah, she's just going to be trouble to his door. I don't trust her, but I do wonder whether there is a lot more to come with this story. I think there's a lot to be kind of filled in. There's a lot to kind of unravel. What do you think, LJ? Because I really am, I'm a bit stuck.
I struggled with this storyline because obviously to find out that you have got two children that you never knew about is a big old shock. And we've seen soap characters deal with that sort of revelation in all sorts of different ways. But I felt like Anthony was so unnecessarily angry and violent about it. Bear in mind that this character has been with us for, you know, over 20 years. I remember him on the square in sort of like 2003 when him and Kat were getting together, and he was like the mild-mannered doctor, the uptight one in the face of like his brother Paul, who was a bit of a rogue. And I just don't believe that he ever would have got that angry about it to lash out at Zoe. And then Jasmine to sort of turn up halfway through that altercation and then just sort of, you know, bump him off. So that is what I'm struggling with. And I feel for poor Patrick as well, because he's already lost one son to a violent murder, killing. Well, you know, I'll never be over that. And then Anthony as well. And then he's got the other son, Isaac, out there that everybody kind of forgets about. So I feel for Patrick in this sense. But yeah, Jasmine, she kind of goes from, you know, you wanting to feel sorry for her in the same way that we do kind of other characters that we'll discuss today in Coronation Street, for example. But then in the other moments when she revealed the fact that she was the killer and it was all a bit kind of pantomime.
It looked quite calculated. It looked quite like, yeah. I mean, it's intriguing, isn't it? Keeps you guessing, keeps you watching. And everyone's got a different opinion on it. I think, like we said about Anthony, all this backstory that Anthony just became a horrible person. There's this restraining order from his ex-wife. I'd like to meet the ex-wife. I'd like to know more about that. I'd like to dig into that. And maybe that is the plan. But yeah, Anthony seemed like fundamentally a decent guy. Yeah, uptight and no angel. But out of nowhere, this development to make him the villain of the piece really is what we're supposed to think. It was quite quick. It was quite... But I do have faith that maybe we're going to unravel the backstory of, you know, Anthony's past, because he wasn't in the show for a long time. So obviously a lot happened. Let's bring in the ex-wife. Let's see what happened and, you know, explain a bit more. Because, yeah, Anthony, evil Anthony, he all got very violent very quickly.
He did. I mean, you know, he's gone now. Maybe to a better place.
Maybe to a better place. Let's hope so. And Paul, but yeah, Patrick is the one we feel for. We don't want anyone to hurt our Paddy, do we? I mean, it is really sad that he's faced this, you know, again, he loses a son. But yeah, Isaac, by the way, yeah, can you get on a plane, please? Your dad needs you.
Yeah, I liked the character of Isaac, actually. I thought that was really good, that storyline. So I'd happily see him back, and Patrick at least connecting with one of his only living sons. So
Isaac, he was quite involved with Lola. Like, they were together briefly, weren't they? And then when Lola died, did Isaac send flowers? Not sure.
No, yeah, Isaac and Lola was a big thing because, of course, Isaac has schizophrenia. So, you know,
she really helped him through it, didn't she? Like, she was yeah. So maybe Isaac holds the key to this whole thing. And Chrissie's around. We can finally, we've got her back. Like, she was all too brief at Christmas. But yeah, she knows. She's got all the secrets. She's got all the answers. She's just playing it close to her chest, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that, I mean, could Chrissie ends up kind of almost going back to prison in the end for this, because they absolutely want to frame her, don't they, for it and get her out of their hair, potentially. But it has been lovely having Tracy Ann Oberman back in the mix, doing the full, she's got the most amazing blow dry that, I mean, yeah, mine today is awful.
Come on now. I mean, you know, but where did she get that blow dry at a moment's notice? Like, you know, she's got someone on speed dial.
It's a far cry from the days that Den's mistress Kate was chopping off it was Chrissie chopping off Kate's hair, not the other way around.
Oh yeah, Chrissie with a pair of scissors. Yeah.
Which does her own hair, doesn't she? Because she's a hairdresser. There we go.
That's why. And she's got like a leaf blower in a handbag. So she looks camera ready, like Mariah Carey.
I love it. Right, that's it. Everybody now go out and shop for leaf blowers as the new hair tool of choice. Okay, so we covered marriages, sadly death with Anthony, and we've now got to talk about baby, because this week, as we've covered in the magazine coming up, Nicola and George are going to have a gender reveal celebration for their unborn baby. They find out that it's a girl, which is really, really lovely news. But I want to draw everybody back to the EastEnders Flash Forward episode, where, of course, we saw Nicola and George seemingly still together, or at least on good terms, in the pub together. She was on a pair of crutches. That's a mystery that needs to unravel. How did she wind up hurt? But also, they don't appear to have a baby with them. And, that's a baby that's going to be under a year old, which, don't tend to leave the mother's side in that period. So what has happened? The fact that we're seeing a gender reveal party and we've not seen the baby in the flash forward makes me very nervous.
I'm very nervous about this. And also, they seemed pretty okay in the flash forward. They didn't seem to be a talk of any tragic things having happened. However, all within the whole thing of the Vic having the windows boarded up and reference to something has happened. Maybe that's why Nicola's injured. So it doesn't look good, does it? The fact there was no mention of the baby. I found that strange at the time. And now, as we get more into the 2026 and this gender reveal party, who's got the baby? Maybe it's the first time she does go out without the baby on New Year's Day 2027, and she just is like to George, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and I can phone the babysitter, whoever it is, Gina or whoever, and it will be fine. And I just I just will try not to be too worried and nervous about leaving the baby, or there is no baby, or she doesn't have the baby, she has the baby, gives it away, anything's possible. But strange that, and I think Ben Wady, the producer of EastEnders, when he was talking about the flash forward, he said what you need to look for is what's not mentioned in the flash forward. This is one of those things. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I do wonder as well, it's recently I've been wondering about the future for George and Nicola, because they are a bit of an unlikely couple. And if you look at the flash forward, they appear to have gone some distance. But if anything, this has really highlighted for me how much I miss George and the Knights from the Vic. No offence to Cat and Alfie whatsoever, they have served that pub fantastically over the years, and they definitely have an era in there. But for me, the Knights was a fresh thing. I miss Linda from the pub as well. Like, the B&B has been a lot of fun, and we will get on to talk about that because Johnny has some strong words about the interior of the B&B. He doesn't like it. I miss them.
I miss them. I really loved the Knights. I loved, and if you're going to cast someone like Colin Salmon and Harriet Thorpe, to have them be king and queen of the Vic was absolute genius. And no one can do it forever, obviously. I did think it was cut short. I think they did have a few more years there. I think, and obviously Elaine and George split up and it all got very toxic, and that's when they moved out of the pub. But what about the Angie and Den classic warring couple running the pub together, and they have to run the pub and they have to put the face on despite the marriage falling apart? I would have liked an entire toxic breakdown while they're pulling pints. And I just think George he's got such a presence and he's such an authority. He was a great landlord.
Yeah.
I do miss it. And I like him and Nicola together, though. I have to say, I think they've got great chemistry, and that's going to be really interesting. And they're getting two great performers together. But I feel George needs, and he put a bid in for Walford East, didn't he? And I thought, oh, here we go. This is George's chapter 2. And then I don't think that's even happening. Is he getting it? If he is buying it, they're taking their sweet time. EastEnders, you buy a business, you're in it the next week with a new set and a lick of paint. George needs more to do, and we know he's staying because he's in the flash forward. The boxing den, is that a thing? Vicki was, saying that paperwork's all over the shop. Whoever's running the boxing den, I don't know. Maybe he could help out at the Vic just so because Cat and Alfie are quite busy. They're down the prison all the time, helping Zoe. They're to other countries to look for Tracy Ann Oberman. They need a hand. George is a safe pair of hands. So
I know.
yeah, I do miss the nights behind the bar.
More George, please. Well, let's take that opportunity then to move on to Coronation Street, because big week on the cobbles. We have a flash forward episode, another flash forward. The soaps
What do you mean?
flashing forward, flashing back, timey-wimey, it's all gone nuts again. But it's exciting because we're going to flash forward to a day in April, and Betsy finds a body on the cobbles. Now, it has kind of been revealed that there's going to be 5 people in the frame to be that dead body, and we haven't got, let's make this clear, we have no official lineup of people yet. So of course Inside Soap have raced ahead and we have started writing down some names who we think are likely to be there, and I'm just going to throw the first one out for you. Theo.
Well, Theo, he's got to go in whatever way, because we don't like Theo. He's a nasty bit of work. He's responsible for a death of another life, of one of God's own, obviously a man of the cloth. Theo seems like a pretty good bet to be among the possible deceased, because he's got to get his comeuppance, isn't he? And I think the more people find out about what he's up to and what Todd is hiding, yeah, he's got to be up there, isn't he? We don't condone murder, kids, on Soap Scoop, the Inside Soap podcast, but Theo's got something coming to him.
Yeah, soap justice is always going to get you in the end, sometimes sooner rather than later. But yes, Theo is definitely up there. Another one I'm going to throw out to you is Megan, because at some point that's going to come out. And also in the magazine this week, Johnny, I've got 3 words for you. Sam's secret camera.
Sam Cam.
The
Samra is out.
The samurai.
The samurai, the video Samra, yes, has been activated. How much do you love a secret camera? Now, I'm going to just jump in before you say it, but your love of the Stallion of Truth, was it, in Emmerdale, where Kim Tate was trying to find out who was poisoning her, and she had the horse's head camera that she just like strategically dotted about. That's a good one. I do love the Sienna Blake dollhouse camera. Always got a soft spot for that. Do we know the Sam Cam? Is it hidden in something? Is it hidden in, I don't know, like a mirror or a picture frame or an ornament? Because you can't just stick a camcorder from the 90s, like a big brick one. What's the disguise? That's all part of the fun of a secret camera, isn't it?
I mean, Sam loves his science, doesn't he? So if he's not come up with anything elaborate. So for people that may not have read the magazine yet or seen the pictures or the spoilers, Sam is obviously on to Megan and Will's totally wrong relationship, and he plants this week or coming up a hidden camera in Megan's flat, which is hopefully going to get all the evidence he needs so he can take it to the relevant people, because Megan is also making his own life a misery. And yeah, we love a secret camera here at Inside Soap. I mean, we don't film people in secret, just to put that out there.
We don't.
We were saying
earlier, and there you go. Then we watch them on soaps and we go, this is really fun. I think it's in a chess piece. Can I just say, this just came to me because Sam loves his chess.
Yes. I do know someone who's been caught on, not secret camera, just a camera they didn't know they was there. I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but basically 2 people were having an affair and they got caught on the cat cam, and the cat cam was there to obviously keep an eye on the cat. This is a true story. Actually, I don't know them. They're friends of friends. I'm going to stop there. Probably shouldn't have told you all, but I've not named names, so it's fine. But yeah.
Meow, by the way.
These things happen.
Apparently they do. I always think those secret cameras really, until I heard that little bombshell there, LJ, secret cameras and witness protection are just things that sort of don't really happen in real life, and yet they're always happening in soaps as if they're really normal. Like we need like a flash forward. Where's this week's secret camera?
I love a bit of witness protection. I mean, I'd hate to go into it myself, but I love it in soaps, like, because also it's not just when someone gets sent away to witness protection, it's when 2 kind of strangers, like the Alessi twins, when they went to Neighbours for the first time, they were in witness protection, and it was confusing for the residents of Ramsay Street because they see one twin and think that was just the one person and then realise there was 2 of them. So I love that. I think it's happened on the street before as well, hasn't it? With
Harris
Katie
family.
Harris's family, yeah.
They were, the Harris family, obviously. Yeah. I mean, Cindy got to meet George in witness protection. So, she had a good time, didn't she, as Rose Knight?
I know. We need a bit of more witness protection in the soaps. But we're completely gone off piste. So, yes, Megan is a contender because I'm thinking pretty soon people are going to find out and not be happy.
Also, if Maggie Driscoll were to find out about Megan, we've seen Maggie go to lengths to protect her boys, to protect her family. That flash back, forward, back, sideways, up and down, wherever we're flashing. But we have flashed back to Maggie's backstory in the 90s, and we know that she was responsible for the death of her husband, and there's a lot more to unpick about that. We also know that she kind of covered up Will attacking Daniel at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
If she were to find out about Megan, because surely this is going to come out, then there would be, I think all the Driscolls would be baying for Megan's blood, So yeah, Megan, and she's got but you know what? Megan is pregnant, and unless something's going to happen before April, that's dark.
Yeah, it is actually.
It's dark, and I don't know. I feel like the fact she's pregnant, there's a longer term plan for that story. Who knows? But in terms of her, being a wrong un that needs some comeuppance, she is on the list alongside Theo.
This is really dark if it is Megan, but if the person who kills her doesn't know that she's pregnant, then that's double murder, which is really grim and horrible, but adds a whole layer of awfulness to it. So you never know.
You never know.
Who else we've got? You mentioned Maggie. I mean, the other one we've got to mention, Becky, because just because Becky's in prison doesn't mean she's out of the picture.
No, we're going to see Becky again. I am sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. And again, I don't think she's really, more punishment might need to come her way. Yeah, we've said before on the podcast, I don't think Becky's story arc is completely done, and done some bad stuff, hasn't she? So yeah, don't be surprised, put her in the mix.
I wonder if, because for Betsy to find the body, whoever it is, she's obviously going to be completely traumatized, but if she finds her mum after believing this woman to be dead already for so many years, and then obviously I know the reunion was not straightforward with Becky, but that's still a mother and daughter relationship at the end of the day. So for her to go through that, and also we're going to have Swala on the brink of happiness once again. So for it to be Becky is going to throw another spanner in the works. So that is definitely one to consider. I think we'd have to obviously work out how she gets out of prison, but maybe there's a technicality. Maybe Costello turns up out of nowhere, because where has he been for the last...
Costello, we miss you. Are you okay? Are you taking Nurofen? Like, your head
okay,
must hurt. Yeah, where are you? Maybe Costello's the dead body.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I don't know if Costello's body would be enough to sort of whip the street up into the frenzy that I imagine.
A lot can happen between now and April, that's all I'm saying.
It can. And then last on our list of potential people is Carl. In the magazine this week, Ronnie's punching him, so they're already having a bit of a ruckus in the Rovers. And then, of course, him and Theo have got this rivalry going on. And we know, Theo's killed once already. I don't know if it's likely to be Carl, if I'm honest. I think he is too much good value for that street.
Yeah, he's got a lot more to give, isn't he, in the Debbie story and the whole Webster kind of clan. But he has done some bad things. He is a bit of a wrong un, and a lot of enemies would turn on him. I hope it isn't Carl. I hope no one dies and everyone lives happily ever after. Obviously, that's not going to happen because it's soaps. But I hope Carl does stick around, A, to do more wrong stuff because it's quite entertaining, but B, we're only just scratching the surface of him and Debbie's past. Those scenes where she told him she was his mum were heartbreaking and really brilliant, and actually really tapped into what we've said all along, and now we're seeing it, is to why Carl is like the way he is. It's all starting to fit into place for him. He says that Elaine, who he thought was his mum, was distant with him and never loved him, and he thought he'd done something wrong, and that's why he went a bit self-destruct and started doing bad things, because he thought, mummy issues, mummy doesn't love me, why? And now he kind of knows why, and then there's all that resentment for Debbie. So to have Carl bumped off just as we get into the heart of him as a character would be a shame, but it would make a big impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were saying as well that when they initially announced the news that Debbie was going to get diagnosed with dementia, and they assured us that it was going to be played out over a realistic amount of time, which is great because we're enjoying so much of her story. And all this family stuff that she's got going on with the Websters. We were kind of outraged, weren't we? Because just loving Sue Devaney for the column.
Yeah.
But now that we're seeing all of this stuff, this is the story that has allowed her to bring out all of these amazing emotional performances. So it's kind of like, well, it's bittersweet, but I'm fair play to them for pursuing it and having the bravery to do it with Sue.
Really brave. And she had, they haven't lost the comedy altogether. They haven't lost that. She's still got her girl gang, them getting hammered at the Chariot Square and having their girls' nights out. There's lightness within the darkness. Obviously, it's primarily a very dramatic story, but yeah, I mean, as you say, fair play. I was very skeptical. I'm just sad that comedy debut, we thought that was it and it was all going to be wall-to-wall grim, and it's not, but it is really moving. And the whole Carl twist has just added so many layers to it. And Sue Devaney is brilliant, which is no surprise to anyone. And I think Debbie as a character will be remembered much deeper and with more heart than if this story hadn't happened. And yeah, it's bittersweet. But I'm just rewatching those scenes from the other day, where she finally told Carl. It was just great. And I was thinking, how many times have we had this kind of reveal, you ate my mother and all of that? This kind of story has been done before, but it felt so real.
Well, on the flip side of what's going on with Carl, Debbie's in prison and she's got a new prison bully on her back in the form of the lady who used to play Ali Spencer in Emmerdale, bumped off in the Dales, banged up in Corrie, reincarnated.
I know, it's a Corriedale crossover. It's like another Corriedale crossover that we didn't see coming. So yes, welcome back, Kelly Hollis, to soaps.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully she won't give Debbie too much of a hard time, but I don't think Debbie's having it nice on the inside. Speaking of which, because there's a lot of prison drama in the ITV soaps at the moment, they're all banged up, aren't they? And they're all in the bibs.
They're all in the bibs.
Moira.
Bib chic is very in. As we get into spring, it's all about the bib. How do you wear it? What colour's your bib? Tabard extravaganza all around.
Well, that brings us nicely on to Emmerdale because Moira's still banged up. Bear this week is being charged for manslaughter, and Laurel's in a quandary over what to do with Ray's dodgy cash that she finds out Arthur has got. It's a bit of a moral dilemma, isn't it? Because it's blood money at the end of the day. But I don't know. What would you do? What would you do with Ray's cash? Would you hand it into the police? Would you do something noble with it, or would you book yourself a one-way trip to the Maldives?
Wow. I have been thinking about this. It's really tricky. I feel like Laurel is a bit owed some, recompense because Ray really deceived her and she really went through quite a lot. I don't know, a holiday's tempting, to be honest. And who's going to know? Who's going to know? Is that wrong? Is that wrong?
Can you pay for a holiday in cash these days? I don't know.
Oh, that's a point. Can you pay? We're a cashless society. Can you pay with anything for cash? Like a packet of extra strong mints, they won't accept £1.
I actually find now that if I go somewhere and I want to pay with cash, I have anxiety about asking them because everything is so card only.
Yeah, I think Laurel may be worrying about nothing because you can't buy anything anyway. So what does it matter?
I know. Well, I mean, she's got this dilemma on her hands. Obviously, we know that Marlon and Rona are in dire straits after they were having to cough up $2,000 a week, I think it was, after a lump sum of 20k. So they are having a really hard time. So, of course, there is the idea that maybe Laurel could help them out.
Is it Marlon and Rona's money? Is this what we're asked to think? Is it the money that Marlon and Rona gave Ray in their weekly payments that he just kept in a bag and never did anything with? Is it?
Maybe.
Is it?
Maybe. I mean, how are they getting hold of that sort of cash?
Again, in a cashless society, and it's Emmerdale. There's no bank. There's no...
He sold his car, didn't he? Do people sound over cash for cars?
Do they go into witness protection and hide secret cameras in living rooms? No, but they do in soaps.
I'll tell you what I do want to talk about, actually, because obviously Moira being banged up for double murder, it's because it was Anya and Celia that was sharing the double grave in the end. How romantic, poor Anya. But what I want to know is, we saw Ray's shocker of a day 5 nights in a row. When did he have the time to bury Celia in that grave without so much as a bit of soil out of place? Because it was all very neat. Because he had a really busy day that day.
So busy. And it was Corriedale. Like, the nighttime was even busier for the world of soap, wasn't it? Like, yeah, how did he fit it in? Timey-wimey. You know, maybe there is a whole secret of time being in a different loop in Emmerdale. I don't know. And yeah, because also the grave, how did he move Celia's body to the grave? Was that, how far away was that from where he actually killed her? This is so unsavory.
Yeah.
This. Yeah, there was a unexplained window of time. Whether we will ever get that explanation, I'm not sure. I mean, I tell you who we're not going to get an explanation about this crime from is Houghton Police. What are they playing at? They're useless. They are absolutely useless. They're jumping to all the wrong conclusions. Poor Moira. Yeah, so they're not going to fill in any gaps, LJ, on how Celia ended up. Do you really want to see Ray's last day again, by the way? You're asking more questions on the day we have seen more than any day known to man. I really fine with what happened on that day. I've seen it 80 times.
I'm just not prepared to let Joe Absalom go. You know how much of a fan I was.
I understand.
What I will say is, well, firstly, the Emmerdale police are drunk because they are making all sorts of wrong calls. But you could also argue that, as we said earlier, soap justice is going to get you in the end, because Moira is a murderer that she managed to swerve any punishment for a number of years, and now she's got 2 on her books, or at least that's what she's been charged with.
Yeah, and is this it? Is this the long-term plan? Because she is a killer, like, you know, 2/3 of soap characters. She is a killer, and soap justice, etc., etc. So, as heartbreaking as it is, you know, Moira is innocent of this crime and this awful, awful crimes, but yeah, it never caught up with her, did it? Killing Emma Barton.
Also, as well, I mean, Bear is charged with manslaughter, so the future's a bit uncertain for him. If you've considered that Bear was a character who was on the periphery for so long, and he's finally been given this amazing storyline, which Joshua Richards has done such a superb job with. Like, I mean, you know, there's some award ceremonies coming up this year. All I'm going to say now is please make sure that Joshua Richards is nominated for Best Actor, because he should be in the running for that. It's the sort of story where, okay, Bear may have to face some punishment, but we as viewers, we love our Bear now. Like, we want him back in the protective fold that Paddy can offer him, along with the rest of the Dingles.
We want him to, you know, be able to move forward from this ordeal he's been through. We want him to process it, and yeah, I don't know, I mean, how do you? But he's been so brilliant, as you say, Joshua, and the story and the writing, the development of the character has been great. We're, again, just scratching the surface. Bear's been in the show years, but we're only, you know, we're finding out so much about the character, a bit like what I was saying about Carl earlier. So don't send Bear to prison, but he did move someone to death. There has to be some consequence, but we couldn't bear it. Sorry, I did a Bear pun. Sorry, I couldn't resist it. I hate myself.
Necessities for Bear to go to jail. Bare necessities. They could break into song. I love that little tune.
Maybe that's what they should do to cheer Bear up as he's charged with manslaughter.
Well, on that note, thank you very much for joining us this week. I hope you enjoyed the EastEnders behind the scenes exclusive, which was a lot of fun, and please enjoy those pictures in the magazine. Meanwhile, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on this podcast. Thank you to the lovely person on YouTube that said that they were pleased to have me back. That was very nice, and it made my week. So thank you. I will hopefully be here for the foreseeable with the support of Chloe and Johnny, who are fabulous. So thank you, and we will see you again next week.